Hi and welcome back to the channel. So Zaya is still sleeping, so I'm alone, but this is the second part to the first, which was 10 things I love about you Canada. So this one is 10 things I hate about you Canada, or to placate some people, because hate is a strong word, 10 things I dislike about you Canada. So here we go. I have to start with the Canadian weather. I positively am mind boggled by the Canadian weather. Like it has no chill, so it goes from 0 to 100. So it's either, there's no like in between with it either. So it's like either very hot, ridiculously hot, like heat wave hot, people dying from the heat, people getting heat stroke hot, or very cold, right? So like below freezing cold. Okay, like below freezing cold. Like one time it was like -35. That's not even livable. And then there's this thing that I personally get, which is like chilblains. So chilblains is when like the capillaries under your fingers and toes, they mostly your fingers and toes, they burst due to extreme change. So it's like, for instance, if you're outside in the cold and it's very cold, right, and your hands are basically frozen, and then you come inside and you wash it because it's corona time, right? So you have to like wash. So you come inside and you wash your hands under warm water. The extreme change between the cold outside and the warm water basically bursts your blood vessels underneath your skin. And currently I have chilblains. They're irritable, they're itching, they're swollen, they're red, and it takes so long to go away. And it's very hard. Is that Zaya? Okay, that's just the wind. Because it's spring, right? But it's spring and we got snow before, and it's supposed to snow today according to the weather people, and it's howling wind outside. One time this week we had a tornado warning, which is like, okay, obviously I don't like the weather. 2, the job system. I don't like the fact that if you're coming to Canada from a different country and you have work experience in that country, more than likely, not all the time because it works for some people, more than likely it doesn't count. Your experience before doesn't count. So you have to get what's called Canadian work experience, right? And if it's even to lift something in a warehouse, that's considered Canadian work experience. So I don't like how the job system is set up in such a way where it favors persons from the first world as opposed to persons from like immigrants that are coming from different parts of the world, and it discredits all that you've been working for. So of course it's not a blanket statement. These dislikes are personal to me. So other persons come here and they're good, their job experience counts and everything, but I don't like that the job system isn't equal enough to have that spillover on everybody. 3, the unconscious bias. So now I love the people, right? I love their heart, I love how willing they are, I love how nice they are and just like beautiful inside and out. But there's something that's called unconscious bias, where it comes out when they're saying, you know, oh my gosh, I love your beautiful black skin, or I love your beautiful black baby, you know, as opposed to saying I love your baby or I love your skin, or you know. So it comes out in, you know, how they express themselves. Not everybody, obviously, but for some of them. And so I don't like that. And then the unconscious bias, it's very hard to even say, to even like fault them in such a way, because they're genuinely being honest about the fact that they love it, that they love how beautiful Zaya is, or they love how my skin is, right? But So they're genuine in their expressions, but they don't understand that just their expression shows an unconscious bias. So that's one of the things that I don't like. So you wake up. Oh my god, so you wake up. The next thing that I don't really like is the food. Like for poutine, like that's just not me. Poutine is like the national dish. I cannot get fries and gravy. It's so soggy. Fries, gravy, and cheese. It's so soggy, and it's just like, but Canadians love it. But nah. Taxes. I don't like anything about taxes. I don't like doing taxes. I don't like. It's done easy because like sometimes you go to somebody or whatever, but just the whole tax system, the taxation system, I just don't like anything regarding taxes. Maybe eventually I learn to do my own and it won't be that, oh my gosh, I need to do my taxes, yada yada. Should we go? Come babe, come. But I don't like taxes. Alright, come on. Okay. Okay, alright, go to sleep, Okay, so we're going to finish the video like this. Alright, no problem. I don't like the healthcare costs. So if you don't have health insurance, and if your health insurance if you don't have health insurance, and if you're past the age where they offer a certain part of free healthcare, then you'll see that the insurance cost is like, the healthcare cost is very, very high. So let me give you an example. So it's not, healthcare and dental is not covered, right? So that means that if you don't have insurance, the cost to test your eye and the cost to clean your teeth, or if God forbid you have like a wisdom tooth pain, to extract that teeth is just ridiculous. It's like they double the cost for that because everything else is free. So if you don't have insurance, you're screwed, trust me. But I don't like how high it is for something like eye and dental, something, you know, you need your teeth to eat and you need your eye to see. So if you don't have insurance, sorry. The next is just the process to get up here. It's very tedious. It's very headachy. Like, it's, trust me, it doesn't matter which step you take. If you get married and sponsored, if you're doing express entry, if you go through the school system, it's very hard to become a permanent resident. Just even the documentation and doing the documents and going through the documents, because if you make a mistake, it's considered a lie, right? So you have to pour over those documents to ensure that you don't make a mistake, to ensure that you're being honest and everything. And then you have to have proof of so many different things, right? So I don't really like how the system, the process to get here is. I like when you get here, yeah, but to get here is such a headache. I've never met somebody who has not had a sleepless night while doing their applications to come up here. Somewhere along that process was a headache, right? The next thing is the culture. It separates people. I can be half an hour from you, but I don't see any years, and that's just because you're busy living your life, I'm busy living my life, I'm busy trying to get bread, you're busy trying to get bread. We barely talk just because life is just, it doesn't stop at all, you know. Everything is due, mortgage is due, rent is due, bills are due. And just coming from a culture in Jamaica where everybody is really close, and everybody, you can literally see somebody around the road, you can see you can just like be driving, going to your business, and then you just see somebody that you know and you honk the horn and be like, yo, walk on. Like, that doesn't happen up here. It has to be intentional. So I don't like how it separates people and how hard it is to see people that you know. I don't like clock change. Daylight saving time, when you fall behind or you spring forward, I don't like the change. It's just very discombobulating. It's like, you're for months you're on an internal clock where you're 1 hour behind or ahead, and when you finally get settled into it, boops, it changed. You're back to being 1 hour behind or ahead, and you're like, what? So I don't like the clock change, right? I feel like they should just make it be 1 hour ahead fully all the time, or 1 hour behind fully all the time. Just figure it out, right? Stop changing back the clock, because there are a lot of things that happen to people. Like, they lose it when the clock goes back or goes forward. It's a very stressful period because you have to adjust so many different things. So I don't like the clock change personally. And 10, it's something that I like, but something that I don't like as well. I love how organized the country is in terms of just rules and procedures and everything, but that's what I don't like too. Because, for instance, we got hacked like recently from this bank, and I don't prefer to call him name, TD Bank, right? So we got hacked, and we had like a savings account in the bank. So TD did not tell us that, like when you're with, because we're bank with Scotia as well, and when a transaction is made that probably doesn't look like us, Scotiabank texts us and emails us, and probably even locks the account until we call them and tell them, okay, we did it. But with TD Bank, they didn't. For years we've been saving in this account, and suddenly there's this big withdrawal and nobody says anything. We didn't notice because we've always been depositing, which is like a different story, right? Or a different video, right? But the thing is, right now we're being told that because it's out of the 90 days, like out of the 90 days that it happened, that we never reported in that 90 days, we cannot get our money back. So sometimes it's so rule intensive that it doesn't provide for specific situations to make allowances for it. So that's what I don't necessarily like. Just how, like, it's so hard to go against the grain and to be like, okay, not because the rule says this means that it's right. So I love the structure in some ways, but you can fall back on the structure. But I don't like that structure takes precedence to what is right. So that's another video, and that's another rant. Those are the things that I hate about Canada. Those are the 10 things that I dislike about Canada, and that's just that. And I just want to say that me and Zaya right now just represents how I function sometimes. Some days I don't get, you see the weather, you see the lighting change, right? The sun is up now, and it was very breezy before and very dark. So it's like, figure it out, no? Figure it out in Canada weather, like, figure it out. But like, sometimes this is us, and I'm typing on the computer, I'm talking on the phone, and she's just sleeping on me. That's the life of a mother, right? At least I get to see Zaya. So this ends the, well, no, I have another part of the video. So in this, I'm going to talk, in the next video, I'm going to talk about how different Canada is, 10 ways in which Canada is different from Jamaica. Because I'm Jamaican and I'm in Canada, living in Canada, so I can make that comparison, and it's going to be really interesting. So stick around to see if you found value in it, if you found value in the video or anything. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more, feel free to like, share, and subscribe as well. Okay, that was that. Thank you. Bye. I hope I didn't get you dizzy by doing this back and forth, but try not to let her wake up. All right, toodles.